Episode 42 of And That's Why We Drink is sponsored by Zola, HelloFresh, and Canvas People.
Wait, let's see if it sounds better this way.
What does?
No, it doesn't sound better.
Em just smashed their iPhone into my wine glass.
I just wanted to see if it'd work.
Oh my God, you're gonna
sounds
break.
like it's cracking.
Yeah,
Never mind.
you're gonna break either my wine glass or your phone.
Are you drinking for any reason this week?
I mean, here's the thing.
Oh wow, that was such a pregnant pause.
Not drinking for that reason, thank God.
Well, you shouldn't be.
Yeah, that's true. My dad called again.
Oh. The saga continues.
He had something to say about. He listened to the episode where I said that I was really fat as a kid because I had a peanut M&M machine in my room.
Uh-huh.
And my dad calls me and he goes, "You did not have that in your room." And I was like,
Just ultimate denial.
yeah. I was like, which is like such a parent thing to do, to be like,
He's like, no, I didn't.
that didn't happen. I'm like, wait, you can't, it's not an argument.
You can't erase a permanent scar in my mind.
Yeah. And he's like, well, you're a child, so you don't know. I'm like, no, I remember. And I described it and everything. And then he was really silent for a while. And then he goes, well, yeah, it was supposed to be an art object. And I was like, what do you mean?
Like an industrial sculpture filled with candy for you to eat right next to your bed.
Like an installment.
Can you imagine if all art was just filled with candy?
I would be a fat child. And I was, apparently. And so he's like, yeah, it was an art object that I installed in your room. I was like, what? Okay, stop. So first it doesn't exist. Then it's an art object. Then he goes, well, I'm going to start something of my own. And
Oh.
I was like, what is it? And he's like, and that's why we drink fact check for every episode. And I was like, well, you're going to have your hands full, my friend.
Especially with your own facts about the past.
With your own faulty memory. Anyway, so that was the update of the week for me. Why do you drink this week?
My mom called.
No. This podcast is just becoming like a therapy session about the flaws of our parents.
I'm actually...
What?
She's engaged, as everyone knows.
Right.
She has recruited me from across the country to plan this fucking wedding.
No. Wait, are you serious? Yeah. Why? I mean, you are good at planning. I guess that makes sense.
I shouldn't have been so open about it, about how good I am at things like that, because I don't want people using me.
That's what you get
But
for
she's
flaunting your talents.
I'm also her only child, so she can't like shove this onto someone else.
This is true.
So that's why your mom had 3. She could just space it all out.
Pick one, yeah. Although if I had planned her wedding, I was 13, it would have been SpongeBob themed and nobody would have enjoyed it.
Actually, she's going to have a really cool theme. So
Your mom?
Yeah. It's actually cooler than any theme I thought she would come up with. I give her a lot of
There's
credit.
a theme?
Listen. That's what I said. Apparently, my aunt who watches, and you can corroborate on this.
If you're going to say she watches bridal shows, yes, I can corroborate.
She watches bridal shows, and apparently several of them have themes. And so my aunt has told my mom that everyone in this generation has themes. If you're going to get married, you have to have a theme. And meanwhile, my aunt is 60 years old, and she's wrong. We don't all have themes.
What theme? I don't have a theme.
I'm saying I've never known anyone to have a... Jesus. Gio's saying, you have a theme, bitch.
It's like, I'm your theme. I'm your theme forever and always, to the grave.
I told my mama, she was like, that's what she said.
She was like, I'm going to howl in your face.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
So my mom called me and said, well, I know that everyone your age has themed weddings. And I was like, no, we don't. And she was like, well, I thought that everyone has one and I didn't want to be left out. So I created a theme.
Wait, what? Can I know the theme?
Yeah, no, it's actually really creative.
Wait, you're killing me.
So her and Tom are meeting each other in their not 60s.
What do you mean they're meeting each other?
Like they know each other like
they
late
have
in
met.
life.
Oh.
And so they've always said like, I wish I knew you when I was younger. And so that's going to be their theme. So it's going to be like a memory lane kind of thing where
oh my God.
Each of the tables is going to have like instead of tables being numbered, they're going to be different categories, like different like chapters of life. So like one table is going to be like awkward high school pictures, and one's going to be like Christmas, and one's going to be like family vacations, and it's going to be like them, like pictures of them growing up.
Oh my God.
Scattered around. And I think their wedding song is going to be I Wish I Met You When I Was Younger. It's apparently a song.
It is. It's a really like popular song right now.
Okay. Well, that's like their whole theme.
And it's kind of like disco sounding, so I feel like it's a good song.
Very Tom then.
Yeah, I feel like Tom would really like it.
But anyway, so that's their theme, which is a good theme. It's super creative and it's original.
Okay, well now
It's not
I need
like
a theme now.
Wine.
Oh, okay. That was easy.
But
That's adorable.
I think so.
Am I invited?
Allison's invited.
Okay, well that does not answer my question.
I think it does.
Ow, I just smacked myself in the head.
Actually, that clink sounded better than anyone we've done so far.
Oh, sorry, I just need to smack myself in the face.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's apparently
Well, I'm offended, Linda.
I'm offended too, but apparently she's like trying to do it on the super cheap.
So when did Allison replace me?
When I got a girlfriend.
Fine. Well then,
Look, I'll just break up with Allison. It's fine.
okay. I'll take it.
It'll work out.
No, because I know you'd take Gia before me. What was that? What's happening? What was that noise? Did you hear that?
I heard it. It's like a cat purring.
Listen, there might be an alien invasion happening and there might not be.
Well, we'll find out.
But we need you to keep listening.
Well, good luck to me, I guess, because I get to start this.
Okay, but I do have something to say.
What do you have to say?
This episode, in addition to being sponsored by our wonderful sponsors, is also sponsored by one of our $25 patrons, aka donators. Her name's Amanda W.
Hi, Amanda W. Thank you for your service.
Amanda. So thank you, Amanda, for making us happy. For making this podcast happen, you know?
You're the reason that Christine can buy wine so easily. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, it's like when people are like, oh, can I buy you a drink? It's like they're just doing it digitally. I mean, they're buying you a drink all the time now.
It's sort of like I manifested my dream life.
It's like you put it on your vision board for people to buy you wine every day.
I did. Today at Nickelodeon, I had to do like an introduction thing that we had to memorize. And I said something about how I got rejected from the program last year, and then I put the rejection letter on my vision board. And they all started laughing, and I was like,
You're like, oh, you think I'm making a joke?
oh, I guess we can pretend it's not real. And then I went, and it worked. And they were like, ha, ha, ha. And I was like, no, but like it really worked. So
It's like, you must think that I'm so crazy, but also I can show you the vision board. Maybe that could be your first decoration in the office.
oh my God, I have a giant like pin board. I should just like pin
We've
it.
all seen the vision board.
No. Like my wall is made of like thumbtack material.
Yeah, just stick it up there. When people ask what's going on, just be like, oh, that's my vision board. And right here, you can see the rejection letter from last year, like I told you.
Oh my God. Did anybody ever know how I put the rejection letter? Then I put,
She scratched through it and wrote
right.
what it should have said.
I did scratch through the ones that said you didn't make it so that it looked like it said, I mean, it didn't look like it, but it said like, you did make it into the program. And then I also cut out the back of it, which had, because I thought it was fun, it said, hug me, brother. And it said, Josh Peck from Drake and Josh. And I was like, oh, that was one of my favorite shows. Da, da, da. A week later,
You met him.
I met Josh Peck. And it didn't occur to me until much later. And then I like looked at the vision board thing and I was like, oh, I was telling someone, I was like, well, this one came true and this came true and this came true. And then I pointed at that and I was like, oh my God, I hugged Josh Peck. I hugged him.
You should have told him I'm also going to work for Nickelodeon very soon.
I did. And he was like, that's good for you. I don't.
At least he didn't say run while you can.
He put me in his vlog.
Okay.
Did you see that?
No.
Oh
I
my
did
God.
not. I didn't look at Josh Peck's vlog.
I'm drinking a Corona in his vlog.
All right.
The only reason I knew it is because a bunch of listeners sent me the thing and they were like, Christine, is that you in Josh Peck's vlog? And I was like, I don't know. Is it?
That's awesome.
Anyway, what's up?
I'm part of the Secret Santa Facebook.
Oh, there's a Secret Santa, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm part of that. I'm in. I'm hip.
You're so hip.
I post shit to the cloud and everything.
Yeah, you stole my joke. And also, there's a poll going on in that same secret Facebook group. Go join it. Secret ATWWD group.
Podcast. Or just group.
Something.
Go find it.
Just look it's on the cloud. Our awesome mod Jessica, who was truly, saves my ass with this group constantly. She created a poll about what t-shirt people wanted to see next. So there's like a poll going on. So if you want any say in
The
it,
first one just says, listen, I'm sure.
yeah. But there's also like geo stuff related. Like there's some really fun ones and people can add them. So if you have an idea or you want to vote, just do it.
Okay.
Just like stop doing whatever you're doing.
Oh,
and go do it.
wait, stop listening to our podcast?
Just like
do this in the background. What we're going to say is not important. We'll give you a minute. Elevator music.
Okay, did you do it?
Let's hope you did.
You better. I'm counting the votes.
From the future.
Listen, I need to find my wine opener
I know where it is.
behind me.
Yeah.
One time somebody mailed me an electric wine opener and it changed my life.
Whoever did that, you still didn't tell us your name.
Who are you?
But truly, Christine has become a better person because of it.
And arguably worse person.
Probably just like half a shittier person.
I've like stayed on a plateau, but it's just going faster.
It's going, yeah.
You know, it's like I was going down and then now I'm on a plateau and then it's just like speeding up.
You're just kind of like gyrating between, like from side to side. You're not really going up or down.
I'm just like gyrating.
You're just a newer version of you.
I just like gyrate all the time now. So whoever you are, thank you.
Thanks for the gyration.
Em really appreciates it. Oh my gosh.
What?
I'm getting married.
Yeah, I know. I'm the bride. We get it. Do the ring thing. What have you been up to in your wedding plans?
So, you know how when you're getting married, people have to buy you gifts?
Yeah, I do.
Great. So I've been using this site called Zola.com.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Have you heard of it?
Well, I know that my mom's been looking into, like, she's engaged too, by the way, so you're not the only bride. But she's been looking for, I hope you have an answer to my prayers because I've been having to set this thing up for her and make her wedding happen, and I just don't know what I'm doing.
You really are an impromptu wedding planner all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. So I do want to tell you about Zola. Basically, it's reinventing the wedding registry and planning process to make the happiest moment in Linda's life and my life even happier. Over 300,000 couples have used Zola, so
whoa.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And if you think 300,000 couples, that means 600,000 people. So Zola has everything you love about your favorite department store. They also have fun, honeymoon funds, fitness classes, wine subscriptions, like anything that you want your guests to kind of contribute toward your and your partner's life. They have it on their website.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool.
Honestly, I've been using it for a while now. I've been able to personalize my registry with photos, notes about what, like why I want certain gifts or like what we are looking for our new house. They do price matching and free shipping. They even have an app that you can use to sign up with Zola and receive a $50 credit toward your registry. Go to Zola, that's ZOLA.com/drink. That's Zola.com/drink, ZOLA, for $50 towards your wedding registry or Linda's.
Or yours.
Or mine.
And that's why we drink.
And that's why we drink. And what's for dinner?
Those pork tacos again.
You and those pork tacos.
There's not a meal I think I love more off of HelloFresh's menu. Well, the best part about it was that I had all the food delivered to my door right after work, so I didn't have to do anything.
Nice.
And then all of the ingredients came already hand measured.
Ugh, it really is amazing. You can even choose your delivery day. So like if you have a certain day that would work best for a delivery, you can pick it. Each meal costs less than $10. So it's like you're not,
So it's like you're winning in every direction.
Yeah, you're not like losing an arm and like trying to make a stir fry.
It's too good to be true.
It is too good to be true. And I know you did the classic, and I did the veggie version, which has vegetarian recipes with plant-based proteins, grains, seasonal produce. Like it's very filling, very delicious, very healthy. But the meat version is healthy too. It has, everything from meat, fish, seasonal produce, like everything's just clean food and
it's actually fresh. Like,
cause hello,
fresh.
It's fresh. Recipes only take about 30 minutes, which is even better.
Even better.
Listen,
before HelloFresh, I was cooking for like an hour or two, not knowing what I was doing at all.
Were you actually just ordering food?
It took a long time for the delivery to get there.
You guys, you got to try it. For $30 off. I know you've been wanting to try it. I know you have.
I know you've been thinking about it, and you've been like, is there a sign? This is your sign.
This is it. For $30 off your first week of HelloFresh, that's $30 off your first week of HelloFresh. Visit HelloFresh.com and enter DRINK30. That's HelloFresh.com. Enter DRINK30 for $30 off your first week of HelloFresh.
I'm going to do this fun little ditty.
Oh.
From Seattle.
Okay.
And it's called the Harvard Exit Theater.
Well, I don't know what that is.
I hadn't either. But thank you, Google, for that help.
This episode is sponsored by Google. Every episode is sponsored by Wikipedia,
Truly.
Google, Murderpedia.
Oh, to be continued.
Sorry, I have to open my wine.
Christine.
I broke it. There it is.
The Harvard Exit Theater is located in downtown Seattle. The end.
That was the scariest story you've told so far.
So in the 1920s, it was called the Woman's Century Club.
They should have kept that name.
They should have. And it was dedicated to getting, for like, you know, women would be members there, and they were fighting for the right to vote and equality and all that good stuff.
Ugh.
Back in the 20s.
Women. Am I right?
Wow, are you not wrong? I'll tell you that. So they were also allowed to live there. So they got to like live in their clubhouse, which was awesome.
Hello, that's like our plunger for it.
I'm saying we are the new Century Club. Equality for all under the plunger fort. Can we get a shirt with a plunger fort?
And also, we live here. Yeah, someone make me a shirt with a plunger fort.
Or just maybe like our first like thing we should hand out to people if we ever do like a meet and greet is just hand people plungers. Just feel like you are one of us now.
It's like a very like Jonestown. It feels like very culty. You are one. I'm sorry. Go on.
I was about to make a really bad
In poor taste. Oh,
See, there it was.
Plunger.
Plunger pun.
Oh, I thought you meant like plundering a town.
That would have been better, wouldn't it?
No, I wouldn't have.
So women could also live there, and they lived on the second and third floors, but the first floor was like a meeting space. And they lived there until the 1970s, or right around the 1970s. And then, fun fact, they still meet there twice a week.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm. Even though it's not really meant for that anymore.
Yeah.
It's like a theater. But, I mean, equality still has not reigned 100%. So, I mean, still needed.
I would say, I hope in 80 years we're still meeting in our plunger fort.
Yes. I hope so, too. Can you imagine if we did this podcast until we're fucking 100?
Oh, don't.
I don't like to ever think that it'll end, but it's certainly better. Like, before then, you know?
Yeah. It's one of those things where you're like, I want it to go on forever, but like, not really.
It's like, and like, I will do this right after I, like, decide to retire. Like, I'll just, maybe we could, like, pick it up. We'll do a spin-off. Those are really cool.
Oh, that's right.
We'll do it, and then we'll, like, have kids, and then we'll retire, and then we'll do it again.
Right, sure.
Okay.
With our kids.
With Gio's great-grandchildren.
Right, exactly.
Baby G! So,
Glad we planned that out.
That was a blood oath we just made, by the way.
We actually just cut our fingers and put them together.
I sliced my whole hand open.
What?
Oh, no.
What the hell?
It's a lot of blood.
Oh, is that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, you're supposed to really, you gotta want it.
Okay, hold on. Ow. Oh, I'll use my electric wine opener. Hold on.
Oh, and it went
there
through
it
your
is.
hand.
Oh my. It's stuck.
They should have not given us a fucking show.
Who gave it to us? We gave it to ourselves.
And they perpetuated
Why
it.
are you here? Why are you listening to this?
Go home.
Stop.
In 1968, instead of it being a club anymore, it was, an organization. Sorry, it was an organization.
God.
In 1968, it opened as a cinema ran by, quote, eccentric film buffs. Eccentric is what people at my high school used to call me, which was just the nice way of saying weird. So
Eccentric, I feel like, is a word that people use to describe themselves when they want to be like It's like quirky. They're like, I'm just quirky. And it's like, no.
I think if you call yourself quirky, you're probably not.
Yeah.
I think other people have to recognize your quirks for you to be quirky.
Sure.
Anyway, apparently their eccentric film buff meant wild bunch of hippie types, which is not what either of us associate the word eccentric with.
Not quite.
But so it was ran by a bunch of hippies, and the theater manager became the district manager of the landmark theater chain.
Oh, wow.
Fun fact. And so in the 80s, they actually renovated the third floor to make more space and to actually put in another theater on that floor. So now there's a first floor with like a lobby and a theater. There's a third floor with a theater, and currently the second floor is more like administrative offices.
Okay. Just to clarify, this is like a cinema, like a movie theater, not like a theater play.
No, it's a movie theater.
Okay.
And now it actually is where the Seattle International Film Festival is held.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So in the 1900s, to go way back before this building, there was a house that was actually on the site originally. And on the first floor now sits on where that house used to be. And in that house, a guy was killed during a fist fight.
Oh, geez.
So it was already haunted before this building was on it. And it seems like there's just been like an increase in spirits, like one every decade someone dies or something like that. It says there's like 5 to 7 ghosts
Oh,
that people know of.
and one of them died in a fist fight? That guy?
Yeah. There was already a ghost before that building even showed up. So when women were using it as like their main hub,
Right.
there's already a ghost there.
Oh, good.
So the first floor, there's a main lobby. And it like looks very 1920s, and it has like a grand piano and a chandelier and all that. And the fireplace is usually lit for patrons to enjoy, like, to just like, I guess like it's just to make the lobby really look nice until they're waiting for their show to start.
Sure.
So that's pretty bougie. I've never gone to a movie theater, but there's like a fireplace.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh, that's weird.
So the first floor also has a balcony. So it's like a bougie auditorium,
Jesus.
with balconies inside and fireplaces out front. So the man that died in the fist fight is one of the first ghosts that people notice. He's also one of the more frequent ones that people notice. He's been seen and described as slightly see-through and wearing an old-fashioned suit, and he apparently will interact with people.
Oh.
Like, he'll introduce himself to people as Peter.
What?
And then staff says that he's a very happy spirit, and he loves joking around with people and being social. It's like, what kind of partier is this guy where even in death he's able to just be a social butterfly?
He like probably died in a drunken fist fight.
I know.
But he's like, I just want to keep the party going.
It's like, yeah, but I don't want to be the downer.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like the reason people go home.
Like, I'm not a party foul kind of a ghost.
But also imagine dying and having so much guilt about ruining a party that you're still incredibly social as a spirit.
You're like, come on.
You're like, I can make up for it.
Stay. It'll be fun.
I'm Peter.
We're going to start karaoke soon. Don't leave.
So many have felt him standing next to them or have felt getting pat on the back.
What? Ew. So he just like
He'll just like I imagine like he's like joking around with you and laughing and like hits you on the back.
and is like, I'm Peter. And you're like, what the fuck?
Can you imagine like opening your eyes, seeing nothing, closing your eyes, opening them again, and now there's a man in front of you like, I'm Peter, and they're just you blink again, he's gone.
It's truly a terror.
And I wonder, because the staff says that he likes to be social. I'm like, how long is he sticking around with people? Like, do people think he's alive and are talking with him? Or do other people witness him talking to people that don't notice him? So he's just talking to nothing?
Well, because if he's like slightly see-through, it's not like you'd be like, oh, hi, Peter. Nice to meet you. I'm the mayor's wife. Like, you wouldn't like have a conversation with someone who's see-through, right? I mean,
Or maybe it's like that thing where like we're all overly polite and we don't want to hurt each other's feelings. We're like, maybe he has a condition. Like, I don't want to judge.
Is this a charity event? I should have known by the fireplace. I didn't realize I was supposed to make a donation. Ugh,
Anyway.
Peter. God damn it, Peter.
So anyway, that's
I mean, I feel like I like Peter though.
I think Peter so far is my favorite out of anyone.
All right.
Many have also heard him laugh next to them.
Oh,
because I guess he's telling a joke and he's trying to break the silence.
He's probably really funny.
I wonder how funny he is. Has anyone actually heard a joke of his?
I mean, he laughs at his own jokes. He can't be that funny.
I laugh at my own jokes. You think I'm funny,
I mean,
right? Oh my! Don't answer that.
This is awkward.
Also, personal belongings may be tugged on or moved. So he likes to like josh around.
Oh yeah, sure.
So there's two psychic investigators that came in named Jane and JR. And they are also TV producers of a talk show called Seattle in Vogue. I feel like that's just our future. We're going to be psychic investigators and TV producers.
I'm
all in
sorry.
one.
Their show is called what?
Seattle in Vogue.
So we're going to be like...
So we're going to have some hipster ass Seattle TV show about ghosts.
Can you imagine if we were trying to be like...
We do have a show about ghosts.
Well, we do. But can you imagine if we were trying to be Vogue also? Like, we gave up on that.
I am.
Oh.
Everyone likes your glasses, by the way.
Oh,
so,
thanks.
speaking of Vogue.
Thanks for saying that with such, like, raised eyebrows.
Well, no one mentioned my glasses.
Literally 3 people mentioned your glasses.
900 people liked that fucking picture, and nobody mentioned my glasses. I hope you like all the messages that come in now about my glasses.
Hey, I'm Peter. Let me just tell you a quick joke to break the silence.
So, Jane and JR, us in the future,
Em and Christine.
which one would you be?
I mean, I feel like you'd be JR because it's like 2 letters, like M.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the reasoning?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, whatever.
What's the other one?
Jane.
Ugh, I don't want to be Jane.
Okay, well,
JR sounds cooler.
you know it sounds a lot like Jane? Geo.
So it's just Geo.
So it's just me and Geo having our own ghost show.
Is this
I'm just trying to get you out of this. Can you tell?
Are you like breaking some news to me right
If
now?
Geo could speak, it would definitely be a 3-person show, and we all know it.
It would be a 2-person show and I would be kicked out, but okay.
Actually, realistically, he'd realize what losers we are and have left by now. He'd be like, no.
He'd feel like I've been trying to escape for so long.
Anyway, so the investigators / producers / us were looking around the place and were watching a film in the main theater, and one of them felt someone playfully toying with their hair.
No.
And they were the only 2 people in the whole theater.
Okay.
Out of the corner of her eye, Jane saw a light flicker by the screen, so something to like direct her attention there. And she saw a translucent man with a distinguished demeanor watching the film with them. So...
Wait, they were watching a film?
Yeah, they were in a theater watching a movie.
Oh, what movie do you think they were watching?
Their own show, probably.
They were just watching. That's us. Okay, I agree now. That's us. Watching our own show in an empty theater.
I remember the first time we released an episode and you and I sat on your couch with earbuds and listened to our own show and laughed at all of our own jokes by ourselves. And
oh, yeah.
Blaze turned up the TV. He was like...
Wait, I forgot about that. Yeah. I actually remember that.
We had a good time. We were like, wow, we're funny.
Oh, man.
Probably not anymore.
No.
It's okay. It was beginner's luck, I think.
I'm sorry.
So the same investigators had a medium come through, too. Her name was Sylvia.
Sure it was.
And they spoke to another male spirit besides that one.
Besides the distinguished
Besides Peter.
one.
Because apparently Peter looks really distinguished.
Is he distinguished or is he like a partier?
I think he's like that. He's like those pictures that we all see of the 1800s where we assume everyone was kind of a dick because we don't have any pictures of them smiling. But then if we were to time travel to the 1800s, we'd be like, it was kind of chill.
Yeah.
Like everyone's kind of funny.
That guy like unbuttoned his vest and was like, hey, I got a joke.
I think we would be pleasantly surprised in some people's personalities. Not everyone's.
I think you're right. I think Peter's maybe we would be surprised.
I think people like Peter would be like, if I saw a picture of you 200 years from now, I would have thought you were a very strict man.
Peter, I'm sorry I judged you. You're distinguished and
funny.
Funny. And a like
good on you, Peter.
Frat boy of the 1800s.
A moment of silence for all the Peters in the 1800s. All right.
Geo does not want that.
Geo is like, that was me. I'm Peter. So anyway, they brought Sylvia the medium. They spoke to another male spirit, and this one had a British accent.
Listen.
I'm listening.
Okay, just go on.
Oh. Spirits have been... That's it, by the way, on that.
What do you mean? She's just like, it has a British accent, that's all?
She was like, case closed.
I don't know how distinguished he is, but he has a British accent.
So the spirits have been known to... Oh, this spirit, the British accent guy. He has been known to be friends with Peter. So like, aw.
Wait, that's adorable.
Like, goals.
Oh my God, it's like...
Friendship goals.
It's like when you and me and Jane and JR basically are like dead, and then we're like, well, let's just like rewatch our own show in the afterlife. And
But really.
And like try to like party with people who are like, please leave me alone. So it's like pretty accurate. Okay, I get it.
No, and also like, truth be told, when we die, we're still going to be friends, right? Because I've committed to... It's a blood oath.
Oh, we just sliced our hands open.
Slice some blood into that cup.
I put a cork. Hold on, I got it. Do you want to drink some blood?
No. It looks like blood, though, because it's red.
I just put a cork through my hand, so you... cork. I put a corkscrew through my hand, so you better be...
Cork in your hand?
Listen.
It's like a tampon. I'm sorry.
Oh, right, because I'm like...
I thought if you cut your hand open, put
with
a cork in it...
corkscrew, right, and then put the cork? Okay.
Yeah. Just cut that out. You're not going to.
I absolutely won't.
Oh, I'm sorry for everyone. I didn't even like myself there.
You are definitely Peter in a past life. I'm seeing it now. I'm like, wait, I get it.
Good to know that I'm similar to someone dead. So the two of them apparently like bro out all the time, and it's the eternal bromance. You
it's
know?
us.
Oh, so sweet. So they've been known to reorganize the film canisters around the projection room when people go home. So
what do you mean
just
reorganize? Like just fuck it up?
Oh,
that's definitely us.
Can you imagine if we're dead and ghosts and stuck in one building for eternity? We're
where
gonna
there's
fuck
apparently
some shit up.
Alcohol. So I feel like I'm gonna have a grand old time reorganizing shit.
So over the years, managers have opened the building and found the movie projector was already on and showing a film that they didn't have.
No.
Or it would play movies from a projection room that was entirely bolted shut and locked by a key when the manager left, and the door would be wide open.
Ew.
Yeah, ew. In the 1940s, a woman was suffocated in the building.
What do you mean?
Like she was suffocated.
Like with a pillow?
Probably not. Probably by hands.
You mean like strangled?
I don't have any more information for you. This was a tough cookie to research. I'll tell you that.
Okay. All right. I'll just take it.
Just know that. And also, apparently, she is not like part of the bromance, which is kind of sad. They only find her by herself sobbing. So
wait. Oh, do you think she's like a little too clingy? And they're like,
oh yeah, no,
you know, she's like the third wheel. Mm-hmm. That's sad.
I think so. She's got FOMO.
It's like me in the relationship between you and Gio. Mm-hmm. I'm the one who's just like, oh, I just want to be your friend.
Look, okay, but between the two of us, like, it breaks even because you're miserable that you can't be part of our squad goals. I get it. Mm-hmm. I would be miserable too. Mm-hmm. But also, I have to leave him. You get to live with him.
That's true.
So, like, who wins?
It is like
the only reason we like jive so much is because every time we see each other, it's like a condensed, impacted amount of time.
So it's like a love triangle, and Gio's like the common denominator.
Yes.
Okay.
You get it.
So she just cries a lot.
She just cries.
She's just needy.
She's on the balcony of the first floor theater. She has been felt and seen, and anytime people feel her or sense her, they feel someone sad in the room with them.
Oh.
And then they've also seen her. So a janitor was vacuuming and suddenly felt like she wasn't alone in the room anymore.
On the patio?
No.
Oh, I thought
on a balcony. Do you know what a theater balcony is?
Oh, I literally thought you meant like outside there was a balcony. And I was like, it's weird to have a balcony on the first floor. Okay.
It would be weird.
Although it is weird to have a balcony on the first floor inside too, isn't it?
That should be more weird, but for some reason it's not.
Okay. Sorry. Vacuuming. Okay, go on.
A janitor was vacuuming. Just vacuuming the cement.
I was like, just
cleaning the pavement.
A lot of leaves out there.
And suddenly felt like she wasn't alone in the room. And she had like an overwhelming sadness.
Oh.
And in the balcony, she saw a woman wearing an old-fashioned Victorian dress standing there. And since since the janitor, a lot of other people have seen her too. Like she's become a very regular person for people to recognize. And if you just see a woman in the balcony, usually it's her, because apparently that balcony is now blocked off.
Wait, for real?
Yeah. And people like aren't allowed to sit there. Like none of the balconies are. I think it's because like they're just old and but so if you see someone there and they're wearing a Victorian dress, it's her.
I'm gonna wear a Victorian dress to that theater and be like,
you're like a force to be reckoned with, I think.
listen, I'm really wild.
If you ever find out a place is haunted, you're gonna be like, tell me everything so I know just how to fuck with people.
I'm going to haunt everyone. I'm just like, I like to lead like a wild life. Go on.
I'm always crazy.
I'm always crazy. 444.
So 2 different female entities and their friends have been seen in person and in photos. So like someone will take a picture of an empty room. Like you'll just be taking a picture of like how nice it is and that there's a fucking fireplace and shit like that. And in the empty photos, they'll show up.
Oh.
And people without taking pictures have been in the room and seen them. And apparently it's two girls and their friends. So it's like a little fucking posse like taking selfies and shit.
Wait, so they get to be a group. The 2 bromance get to, and then that one girl's just like crying by herself. This sounds like high school all over again.
It sounds like high school very badly.
Oh no.
You got the pranksters, you've got the populars.
Oh, the selfie takers.
And then you've got like that poor girl who like eats in the bathroom.
Me.
That was me too. Aw, we would have had fun. Imagine if we like were sitting in the same stall from Virginia and Ohio.
I like how we pretended to be the bromance ones and we're like, actually, no, we're actually the...
I saw a tweet today where it was a picture of Eeyore and people were like, this guy used to fucking make me so mad when I was a kid, and now I'm like, ooh, I get you, Eeyore.
Yeah. But like, yeah, you want to think you're not him, and then you're like,
okay.
Oh, but I feel you so
like
hard.
the day you remember, like the day it hits you that you're Eeyore, your day you just really self-actualization has finally hit you.
Yes, it's like...
It's a good thing and a bad thing all at once.
It's like I get everything makes sense.
You can't lie to yourself anymore. So anyway, the theater manager at the time, her name was Janet, and she met these spirits multiple times and felt that they were very positive and polite, which I don't believe. They sound like a bunch of plastics.
They sound like a CW show.
Yeah, they sound like Pretty Little Liars.
Yes, exactly.
Which is not CW before people try to say something.
Actually, I think it is. Isn't it actually on Disney Channel and also National Geographic?
It's on Disney and HBO.
And Discovery.
It's, yeah. And in the Bible. So...
Only the Old Testament.
I'm pretty sure a group of girls huddled together being polite was in Genesis.
So many duck faces.
Anyway, on one of her first days, Janet, the theater manager, went into the lobby and saw a woman sitting near the fireplace reading a book. The woman had her hair in a bun on top of her head and a long floral dress, and she was slightly see-through. The woman then slowly melted into thin air.
Oh,
melted is a weird word.
Melted?
Melted. In future encounters with this spirit, the woman reading would look up to Janet, smile pleasantly, turn off the lamp, and walk out of the room.
Oh, ew.
Which is kind of a side eye of like, you're fucking bothering me, I'm trying to read.
It's like, oh, sorry.
Like if my roommate looked up at me, smiled pleasantly, turned off the lamp while I was still in the fucking room and walked out, I'd be like, okay, point taken.
I'd be like, fine, get out. I want to watch TV.
I'd be like, goodbye. Okay.
Actually, I'd be like, I'm so sorry. Did I hurt your feelings? I'm going to be honest. Before Blaze listened to this and was like, stop trying to like pretend you're somebody you're not.
So, okay. So it was the theater manager's duty every night to light the traditional fireplace that people would stand next to while they were waiting for their show. Like an Olympian torch.
The traditional fireplace.
The traditional fireplace.
Okay.
Sometimes the manager would come into the room and the fire would already be perfectly lit as if it had been lit a while ago and is now like at a nice roar.
Oh, God.
On these occasions, the chairs have already been moved around the fireplace to welcome people in, or as if people had already been sitting there chatting.
Ew.
These seem like really hospitable ghosts. Like, can they come do my fucking chores?
Like, maybe Janet's right.
Maybe Janet should just leave them alone.
Yeah, Janet.
Sometimes Janet didn't have to even enter a dark lobby at night because a tall female spirit would leave the lobby, smile at her, and then switch on the lights as she left so Janet could see in the room before she had to go through. So there's one ghost who's turning off the lights. There's one ghost who's turning on the lights. Like,
Again.
obviously they're evil twin sisters.
Clearly a CW show. I mean, a Discovery Channel, HBO, National Geographic show.
Bible. Yeah.
Bible show. Old Testament show.
So the spirit who's apparently super nice, her name is probably Bertha K. Landis.
No, it's not.
It just might be.
It's not a name.
Big Bertha, because she's also apparently super tall. She was one of the presidents of the Women's Century Club when it was at its height, and she was Seattle's first mayor.
Wait, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and she's so nice.
Wait, a woman was Seattle's first mayor.
A female.
That's amazing.
Unless I did my research wrong, someone can tell me about it later. But that was definitely in the facts on its own. I didn't like research it and find that out. It was like part of. It was part of the.
What
notes.
a badass.
Big Bertha.
And she's nice.
So during the investigation with you, me, and our buddies Jane and JR,
Right, sure.
and with our buddy the medium, the medium also spoke to a stern older woman who wanted to know why they were in her place.
Oh no.
This must be the one who turned out the lights. She told the medium that she and the other ghosts know that they're dead and to not tell them anymore that they have to move on. Quote, "We like it here. This is our home. You wouldn't want to leave your home in the middle of the night, and neither do we."
Wait, whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, can I say a little personal thing?
Yeah.
So a woman that I'm good friends with out here, she moved to a new house and like hadn't had any really paranormal experiences before. But she moved to a new house in Pasadena and had all these like weird experiences. And one day she went into her bedroom and she had a necklace that was kind of like hanging on a lamp or something. And it was just like spinning really fast as if someone had like hit it. And like her car alarm would go off and just like weird little things started happening. So she did like Akashic record stuff. So she like did some spiritual research, let's call it.
Okay.
And apparently it was 2 children. She's like, okay, good. I know what to do. Like I'll help them move on. And I guess she was kind of like told like, no, they don't want to move on. You can tell them to like leave you alone and don't bother you. But like, this is their home. They want to be here. And
you've signed on to 2 more roommates.
Right.
Congratulations. And they're both children.
And their children. But yeah, so she's like, yeah, so I was basically told like, no, they want to be here. They're allowed to be here. You can't force them.
Isn't that wild? Because we always see in movies that like you're trying to cast them away or tell them to go to the next place. And it's like, makes you think like, why wouldn't they want to?
Yeah.
You know?
And her spirit guide said basically that they're here for the time being because this is where they're meant to be right now and they're happy there. And maybe
they'll move on in their own time.
Exactly. And I was like, that's really fascinating.
Yeah.
Because they were having fun. She's like, yeah, they would like play with my stuff and move my jewelry around and like honk my car horn. And
the only thing I'd be scared of is like once I accepted that reality and I was like, okay, I live with 2 children's spirits. I wouldn't want them to think that now that I'm open-minded enough to let it happen, that all of a sudden shit would just be flying across the room in front of me. And I'd be like, no, we're going to have some boundaries.
Well, no, she like did a thing. She was like, you know, you're not allowed to touch my stuff. You're not allowed to like interfere with my life or whatever. You can stay here, and then nothing ever happened again.
Oh, wow.
So
obedient kids. So anyway, on to the second floor.
Sure.
So the woman who is strangled,
I thought you said she was suffocated. Now she's
suffocated. Yes. Okay. Apparently she was strangled. The woman who died, let's just leave it there. She is dressed in a Victorian period long dress. Although the hauntings mainly occur on the 1st and 2nd floor, that girl, the one who cries a lot, she apparently also visits the administrative offices, which is literally us going into the bathroom at high school because no one would be there.
That's true. Oh my God.
So she goes to the administrative offices and floats down the hallway or cries until you approach her and then she vanishes.
She's like Moaning Myrtle.
Yes, she's Moaning Myrtle.
I have a Moaning Myrtle costume.
So we've got a Bromance, Moaning Myrtle, and the Plastics.
Yeah. Whoa.
What an interesting environment that is. Oh, and they're all dead.
Wait. Pause. Let's write a sitcom about it.
Done.
I'm like not kidding.
Okay.
Okay. Trademark. Don't steal that.
We have it on audio recording.
November 15th. It's on the cloud. Do not steal it.
So she's... wait. Let's rewrite that trademark. Bromance, Moaning Myrtle, Plastics from the Bible.
Oh, right. It's set in the Old Testament.
Obviously, religion matters here.
Right, sure. It's also a religious show. November 15th. Trademark.
So Moaning Myrtle, she will wait until you approach her and while she's crying, and then she'll leave.
Okay, she's also
kind of like a crazy girlfriend.
really needy, yeah.
She's kind of just like, I want you to see me crying, but I don't want you to think you can fix it, but also you better want to fix it.
Yeah, she's like...
And then also when you try to approach me, I'm just going to leave, and I need you to feel confused about that.
Right. She's like, I'm fine. And then you're like, okay. And she's like, oh, that's it? You're not going to ask me?
Like you're really... It's like, leave. Fine, I'll leave. So you're really just going to leave like that?
You're
like,
going to walk out? Whoa.
Okay, anyway, 3rd floor. Let's just ride that elevator.
Let's leave her down there.
The spirit of Big B, Miss Bertha.
BB, yeah.
She's been seen on the 1st and 3rd floor lobbies. And apparently she's just always super nice. My homegirl.
Dude.
If I had to have a ghost, I want it to be my main Bertha.
Bertha, the mayor? I mean, geez.
Bertha, the mayor. And the president of the Women's Century Club. And, like, whenever she was also mayor.
Right.
I don't even want to think about the year.
Right then, yeah.
A while back. Regularly, people will not just see Big Bertha. They will... Oh, also, we have to throw her into the sitcom. Trademarked November 15th.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Trademark. Old Testament. Okay.
Oh, you know what would be the ultimate feminist move, though? Is if Big Bertha in our show is God.
Ooh.
Because she deserves that.
Listen.
Anyway, not only do people see Bertha, they see a thought form.
No, that's not.
Which is apparently a name for this thing, a thought form.
Like a cloud, like when you're thinking of something?
That's what I thought, like a comic bubble.
Like bubbles, yeah.
No, apparently it's like a cloud.
Oh, dear.
Where people post shit. And
the cloud.
But they've named it the thought form, which a lot of people will feel intensely. It's like a lot of emotions.
What?
But only a few people can see it. But everyone feels it when it's nearby.
Wait, have you heard of this before?
No. We're all learning something today.
The thought cloud?
The thought form.
The thought form?
Which I think is just like this, like staff's wording for it. I think it's just an energy.
Wait, so people can see an actual
Some
cloud.
people have seen an actual cloud, but mainly people feel it, and it's a very overwhelming emotion.
What emotion?
Let me tell you. So Alan, Big Al,
right?
He took over for Janet when she just couldn't handle that many hospitable ghosts in one environment.
Janet was like, I just want to make the fireplace one time.
He's like, do I get any credit here?
Stop turning the lights on for me.
So Alan took over as theater manager, and when he first got there, he always felt something super hostile always following him around.
Oh.
And one night, he was locking up the theater with his assistant, and they both thought that they saw this cloud entity thing. They didn't really think... They saw like a gray mist, essentially.
Yeah.
And they kind of assumed that maybe it was like a dust cloud or something. I don't know. They were just trying to rationalize this shit. But they saw this giant cloud.
Uh-huh.
And then before they could ask each other about anything, they heard a giant bang behind them.
Oh, no.
So they were looking at this thing probably like 20 feet in front of them and then hear a giant bang like right behind them. So they freak out and run upstairs where they hear some like leftover guests talking. Just thinking like, oh, let's be near people.
Right.
Which is funny that the staff is like relying on the patrons of like, oh, let's go hide by them.
They're like, if it follows us, at least we can hide behind the guests.
Yeah, exactly. They're disposable. So they ran up to where they heard a bunch of people. And then when they got to that room, no one was actually there.
No.
And everyone had left. So they looked around and they heard a door close that goes up to the roof. And they were like, okay, well, that's not good. We're already closing. Who's going up to the roof?
Oh, geez.
And they thought that was where the voices trailed off, that they went upstairs.
Yeah.
So they ran over and nobody could have closed the door. Like they saw the door close.
Right.
And they should have seen people walk out with it and they didn't. Mm-hmm. They just saw a door open and close. But they thought, okay, maybe they were just really slick and we didn't, we weren't paying attention.
Right.
So they ran over to try to open the door, and it was like one of those doors you have to pull open. Mm-hmm. And someone was holding it on the other end, behind it.
Oh.
So the two of them together finally yank it open.
I would run away from that. Why do you want to open that?
Right? I'd be like, okay, you win.
Go on the roof. I don't care.
So they finally yanked the door open, and nobody was there.
Oh, no.
And also it was like a small roof, like you could like look around and just see if someone was there or not, and no one was there. So right around then is when our favorite investigators / TV producers.
Sylvia. Oh, no.
Sylvia's the medium.
Right. Okay. So.
She came with them on their little scout to investigate.
Sure. So it's Jane and
JR.
JR.
So they showed up right around that experience.
Okay.
And one of the things they did after hearing that story is they left a magnet by the door that led to the roof. And they left cameras there. And they just had it rolling and like continually charging and playing, blah, 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 blah. So they were recording that door with a magnet next to it. And when they looked back at the tape, apparently they saw this thought form cloud.
Oh, no.
Like manifest itself on one part of the hall, walk across the hall.
Wait, it's a person?
No, it's a like float across the hall.
Oh.
A cloud.
It had feet?
Jesus.
Sorry.
We're just like creating new people all of a sudden.
I thought you meant it manifested like into a person.
Oh, that'd be wild.
That's what I think you meant.
No, like a cloud just showed up out of nowhere.
Okay.
Like just formed out of nowhere.
Right.
The cloud then floated across the hallway and then opened the door and left out the door.
Oh, jeez.
And
the roof door.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can see as it gets closer and closer to the door, the magnet starts freaking out. And when it walked through the door, the magnet it was just spinning and spinning and spinning.
No.
Because it couldn't handle it. So when Jane and JR and Sylvia,
my friend,
the medium, when they all tried to sit down and talk to this thought form, they came to this conclusion because everyone was like, what the fuck is a thought form? Is this a ghost or like, what is this? And essentially it is a collective mass energy from all of the spirits over time. And it's like all their leftover residual emotions just balled into one energy.
No.
So it actually has no personality. It's not a remnant from a human spirit. It's only a collective will meant to surround people with all the leftover emotions.
So is it all negative or is it just a mix of everything?
So the medium Sylvia came to like this kind of conclusion that after talking to it, like as she was talking to it, she was hearing multiple voices, like everyone's residual feelings were kind of coming out to her. So it wasn't just one person she was talking to, it was all this leftover stuff from different people. And she said it was molded over many years from several spirits, and probably began with the group of women fighting for equality who had really strong energies all built up, and they were all living together. So it was all those energies probably kind of combining themselves into this one big force. Because remember, they were eccentric hippie movie buffs.
Oh, right. The eccentric ones. The quirky ones.
Yeah. And so and also the 60s and 70s, people are doing drugs and all that.
Right.
And also they were super spiritual. That building was also used not just as like a strong feminist organization, but they also taught about spirituality, including how to communicate with spirits, how to do seances, all that stuff. So that probably just added to that energy. And then the renovation of adding the third floor in the 80s also probably caused a buildup because for some reason renovations always stir up weird energies that are residual. So it probably began with the energies of the woman. It was followed by all of that spiritual communication practice and finished with the renovations of the building. But it was probably mainly all the strong women who were watching over the building because this thing seems to watch over the building.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. Like, to answer your question of like what people actually feel, the emotion changes all the time. Like people can feel dread or excitement or empowered or anything.
I want like an empowerment cloud to follow me around.
I want a productive one. Someone teach me how to get shit done. And anyway, that's why I drink this week.
So that's why you drink this week. So what's your story? Oh, do you have a story to tell?
Gotcha. That's a good one.
Bum, bum, bum. So here's the thing. I have a fireplace now.
We know.
I was like, what should I put above my mantle?
Something involving Geo, I hope.
It is a large canvas of me and Geo.
Oh, I love it. I know, I see it every day.
Blaze and Alexander aren't like entirely into it, but that's okay.
They're also not entirely in the picture. So like it's just you and Geo on your mantle for everyone to see when they walk in.
It's like, it's fine that they're jealous, but you know, canvas people, they hooked me up.
Canvas people is the stuff, is the jam.
And you got one too, right?
I got one too. I was trying to be an adult and pick something kind of artsy. And so I went with my favorite Northern Lights, which is a place that I really want to go to. And I've told myself that I already love, even though I haven't been there. Mm-hmm. But in front of it is a long exposure shot of someone driving on the road. So there's like, it looks artsy and it's also nature, but it's also cool and it's also photography.
And mine is a picture of myself. So basically, it sums up the podcast. So canvaspeople.com has a very easy to use photo to canvas service that will take your favorite photo, whether it's a Northern Lights or a picture of yourself and your dog, and turn it into beautiful artwork for you to enjoy every day and for also everyone else to enjoy all the time.
All the time.
Instead of snapping that beautiful photo and letting it rot in your cell phone,
That's what I do.
don't let it rot. You can bring that photo to life to put on your walls at home, in your office, give as a gift, or put above your mantle.
Ooh, I should have given it as a gift. That would have been smart.
So a lot of people use Canvas People for weddings, newborns, pets, family photos. They've actually served over 1 million customers, including you and I.
Yay!
They make a high quality canvas. It's made here in the United States, which contributes to 250 plus manufacturing jobs, which,
Holy crap.
that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty
I
cool.
think so, yes.
They have fast shipping, great attention to detail. Mine came extremely fast, and
Resolution is perfect. It's
Really?
not pixelated. It's like, it's a sharp image.
it's gorgeous. They have a special deal for you. We have a special deal for you.
You want to hear it? Listen up.
You can get a picture of me and Gio. No, I'm just kidding. Normally, 11 by 14 canvases are priced at $69.99, but for a limited time, you can get one free 11 by 14 canvas, just pay shipping, if you use the promo code DRINK. I mean, I just had to reread that 3 times because I thought I misunderstood.
Free.
It's free. 11 by 14 canvas, which is usually $69.99. Use the promo code DRINK.
Drink.
Get a picture of your dog on the internet. Just upload it,
Download, upload, do something.
put it on the cloud, and put it up above your mantle.
And that's why we drink.
Bye. So here's the thing. I decided to do somebody today to cover a murderer
Okay.
that you expressed interest in a long time ago.
Ed Gein.
Yes.
He's my favorite.
I know. I've been saving this one for you. So today I was like, what should I do? And I was like, you know what? Let's throw Emma a bone. You know?
Scratch my back.
Get it? Throw Emma a bone. Ed Gein. Never mind. Okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Ugh, stop.
Let's move on. So, I'm going to tell you all about Ed Gein.
AKA Leatherface?
Yes.
Okay.
AKA, oh God, he had so many
Texas
names.
Chainsaw Massacre.
AKA
Inspiration.
Norman Bates, AKA
He was the inspiration for a lot of people.
Silence of the Lambs, AKA
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill, AKA what a nut job.
AKA sorry for your ears.
Sorry for your ears. Literally. Dun dun dun. Never mind. It doesn't come across.
Sorry for your nipples. How about that? You'll get it. You'll get it in a minute,
I
guys.
almost made a nipple joke and then I was like, I'll save it, but I'm glad you did it.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry for your nipples.
Ed Gein was born on August 27th, 1906 in La Crosse County, Wisconsin. His parents were not in a happy marriage, surprise, but they stayed together because of their religious beliefs about divorce. Healthy.
No comment.
His mother, Augusta, moved the family to a farm on the outskirts of Plainfield, Wisconsin to prevent outsiders from influencing her sons.
No comment.
Ed was only able to leave home to go to school. The rest of the time he was doing chores on the farm.
Okay.
Augusta, his mother, had some pretty strong religious beliefs. She was a fervent, devout Lutheran. And she told her kids that the world was immoral. Correct. Mm-hmm. She said drinking was evil.
Probably.
Wrong.
Oh.
And all women, excluding herself, of course, were prostitutes and instruments of the devil.
Isn't that always fun when they're like, women are whores? It's like, okay, but mom, like, aren't you a woman? Like,
you're confusing me.
That argument gets me every time. It's like, oh, so you're no longer a prostitute, but you were, or you still are, or you're just like a totally different
Or you're
breed.
like the Virgin Mary out of like...
It's like, but you're also telling me I have to go like populate and have kids for you and you can't wait to have grandkids, but where in the sea of 100% prostitutes am I supposed to find a non-prostitute?
Yeah.
What a good... Anyway, no comment.
She basically said, like, any woman they ever met was a prostitute, instrument of the devil. Like, they couldn't trust any woman. She said alcohol was,
The devil's plaything.
basically, it was evil, which their father was an alcoholic. So, like, that messed with their brains even more, basically. So she would read the Bible to them every afternoon.
Okay.
It was this chapter of the Old Testament called, like, the Plastics and
Right.
the CW sitcom.
It was, Pretty Little Liars 3:16. Got it. That was my favorite passage growing up.
Yeah, I used to.
It got me through.
My mom read it to me in Sunday school. Okay. So, every afternoon she read the Bible aloud, usually picking the extra graphic Old Testament verses about death, murder, prostitution, like revenge of God, etc. Ed himself was somewhat effeminate, so he got bullied a lot, but he was also pretty weird, and sometimes he would just laugh loudly to himself for no reason. His mother wouldn't allow him to make friends. She abused him and his older brother verbally and decided they were destined to become failures like their father.
Aw.
So when Ed's...
That was Big Bertha.
Woof!
You ever think us as spirits? Because obviously, like, when you're in, like, time and space mean nothing to you.
Sure.
So you can just bounce. I mean, do you think that ghosts can time travel?
Yeah.
I like to think that my spirit haunts me, like fucks with me all the time.
Oh, like your future spirit, your spirit.
Like my future spirit time travels
Wait,
back to right now and
that's-
fucks with me all the time.
So fascinating.
I was just thinking, like, maybe your future self and my future self / our spirits are hanging out in here right now, like just fucking up our microphones all the time.
No wonder my wine's always emptier than I thought it was.
Oh, you can drink it so much faster when you're dead.
That's actually a great excuse for me as an alive person to be like, well, it was my ghost. I don't know how to explain this to you. God.
Every time I fall, I'm like, oh, that was my future me just like pushing me. It's fine.
Bullying me. Anyway. Ed was pretty effeminate, so he got bullied a lot. He was pretty weird. He would... Okay,
he was pretty eccentric. Oh, right. He was actually... he had a lot of quirks.
He was
part of this movie club, I heard.
Oh my God, really?
With a bunch of hippies or some shit. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like he cried a lot on a balcony that was either indoor or outdoor. I'm not sure.
Oh, he's the one in the Victorian dress.
That's... No wonder they thought he was effeminate. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I love when we do like collabs. Like,
I mean, I feel like...
It's like we planned it.
It's like a mixtape. No, it's not. Okay. So, what should I say next?
Make it up.
Okay. When Ed's dad, George, died in 1940, Ed and his older brother started working odd jobs to help pay the bills. They both worked as handymen. Handy people.
Handy people.
Handy people.
Handy beings.
Handy beings. They started working
Handy
as...
souls.
I
can't stop.
We're getting more and more ethereal as we go. Handy beings. But Ed often babysat kids around the neighborhood too, which, no.
I am confused. I mean, whatever. We'll find out what happens.
So Ed was always trying to make his mom happy, but his older brother started rejecting his mom's worldview and was like, no, you kind of fucked us up.
Good for him.
Yeah. He was concerned that Ed himself was too attached to their mother for obvious reasons.
Oh, hashtag Norman Bates.
Hashtag Norman fucking Bates. Hashtag my true love. What's his name?
Freddie Highmore, not
Oh my
Norman
God.
Bates.
I met Freddie Highmore one time and I almost cried.
Hi, Blaze.
So his older brother started talking, like criticizing his mom in front of Ed. And Ed was like not having it. On May 16th, 1944, there was a brush fire near the farm and the brothers went out to extinguish it. They got separated, and by the time the fire was extinguished, Ed reported to police that his brother was missing.
Oh, no.
They organized a search party, and Ed just casually led them directly to his brother's body, which was laying on the ground. There were, shall we say, suspicious circumstances surrounding his death. The ground he was laying on had not been burned at all.
Ooh.
And he had bruises all over his head. But police dismissed the possibility of foul play and no charges were filed against Ed.
Okay.
Even though a lot of investigators argued that Ed had something to do with it. So after this, Ed lived alone with his mother because his father and brother had both died. And then she died after several strokes on December 29th, 1945, which was about a year and a half after the death of his brother. Which is when Ed kind of lost his mind.
Okay.
Hashtag Norman Bates.
Hashtag your boyfriend outside of your boyfriend.
Yeah, that one. So Ed kind of lost it at this point, and his mother had been basically his only friend, his like true love, he called her.
Yeah.
I know. He basically said he was absolutely alone in the world at this point, so he was a lost soul. He continued to live on the farm, though, and he supported himself doing odd jobs. He boarded up all the rooms that his mother used to use, including the whole upstairs, the downstairs parlor, living room, and then he lived in a small room next to the kitchen. So, like, he just boarded up everything. It's actually creepy. There are photos online of, like, his mom's bedroom and stuff. Like, he just boarded them up and left them alone for years. So, at this point, he developed an affinity for death cult magazines and adventure stories.
Of course. And so did we.
Right.
Moving on.
I mean, I was like okay with us being like Jane and JR and like watching our own show, but
also we're kind of slowly getting there. Like purely for science.
Fair. Death cult magazines sounds like our kind of jam.
It sounds like something we would at least crack open.
Let's fast forward about 12 years. On November 16th, 1957, a hardware store owner named Bernice Warden disappeared. Her son, who happened to be a sheriff, told investigators that Ed Gein had been in her store the night before she disappeared and said he'd be back the next day to buy a gallon of antifreeze. They looked at her sales receipts, and the last sales slip that she had signed was a gallon of antifreeze. And that was the morning she disappeared. That was the last receipt she had on the register.
Okay, gotcha.
So police were like, let's check out Ed Gein and see what he's up to. They went to his farm, and they found Bernice Warden's body in a shed.
Oh, that was easy.
Let's talk about what happened here.
Okay.
Maybe if you have children, or if you are my dad and eating a marmalade muffin, stop listening.
Okay.
Okay?
Good disclaimer.
All right. She had been hung upside down by ropes at her wrists with a crossbar at her ankles. She'd been decapitated. And she had been, her torso, which...
We know how you feel.
You know how I feel. Her torso had been gutted like a deer. They determined she'd been shot with a .22 caliber rifle and had been mutilated after death. So at least,
like, if there were a silver lining.
At the time, there's not, but like the tiniest bit, at least this happened later, but still. Then they were like, I don't know what they were like.
Yeah, they probably were just like,
They were probably vomiting. I mean,
I imagine.
yeah. So then they went to the house. This is what they found. I'm just going to list it.
Okay.
4 noses.
With the bone? Or just flaps?
No, just like the nose, like the cartilage. Like
Ugh.
the
Okay.
nose itself.
Got it. A full nose. Like
full
the
nose.
emoji.
They found like a bunch of emojis.
Oh, right. Okay.
You didn't think these were
They
real.
were ahead of their time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how it looks in the emoji.
Right, yeah.
That's what they found.
Yeah, it was actually Steve Jobs' house.
Perfect.
Okay. They found whole human bones as well as fragments of bone. They found 9 masks made of human skin.
Yep.
They found bowls made from human skulls.
Yep.
10 female heads with the tops sawed off. Human skin covering several chair seats.
Oh my god.
The head of a woman named Mary Hogan, who was a tavern operator who'd been missing for 3 years.
Oh my god.
I think her head was found in a box. They found a wastebasket made of human skin. They found Bernice Warden's head, the woman's body who was in the shed. They found her head in a burlap sack. They found her heart in a plastic bag in the stove.
Oh my God.
They found a bunch of women's fingernails that had been pulled off. I know.
You know how I feel about...
Listen.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I just tried to throw that in there casually.
I'm pressing them down just to make sure they don't leave.
Ooh. A necklace made of tongues.
I mean, it's not something to joke about. Let's all be real. But at the same time, it's like, I wonder why he saw a tongue and was like, that's perfect jewelry.
No,
versus something else.
But for real, because some of the stuff he made was such a random...
Like, I would never... Like, also, that's some cocky personality to be like, oh, I can just leave this as my chair seat now.
Yes.
Like,
I will use this as
someone
furniture.
could maybe come over ever.
Yeah.
Maybe he just always thought if someone comes over, I'll just kill them. Maybe that's just always his
I don't
thought.
know if he was thinking much at all, to be honest.
Okay, that's fair.
Except-
but also, like, a heart in a plastic bag in an oven. Like, I hope he wasn't planning on cooking something in a plastic fucking bag.
I did read that... Oh, no, sorry. It was in front of the oven. The plastic bag was in front of the oven. But I did read that evidence showed he did eat some parts of bodies.
Okay.
But
Interesting
I
to
don't
note.
know. That was only in 2 sources. The necklace made of tongues. Okay. And, okay, this one I saw a photo of.
Oh, bless you.
An apron made out of swaths of stretched out human skin. And it was sewed together like, you know, like
patches.
on those shows where the coroner, like in a crime show where the coroner has like those huge stitches.
Oh.
Like when they do an autopsy. And
Like a big chunky sew.
Mm-hmm. So it was an apron made out of swaths of stretched out human skin, but there was like a face on it. So, yeah.
Oh, no.
So there was like a face, and then one was like a breast, so it had like a nipple on it, and one was like a thigh. Like,
oh my God.
and he just sewed it all together into an apron. I'm like, but that's what you were saying, like an apron. Like what?
Like, why would you? It's not like you saw one person's face and was like, that is half of an apron. Now I just have to find the right boob.
Yeah.
Like, it's
which
like,
nipple will make the top of the apron? Right.
yeah. Like, I feel like he was just desperate to put them somewhere.
Yeah. It's so weird.
It's almost like a minimalist mindset of like, I need to make use of all of these things. So let me just find a reason to need it. But then why do you need this at all? Like why is the head of someone who died 3 years ago, why is that in a box? It's like, that's like some shitty Christmas gift you didn't want. You just shove it in a box and never look at it for 3 years.
That's like some hoarder shit.
Like if you're gonna cut someone's head off, isn't it because you need it for something? I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I'd love to tell you. I'd love to answer your question.
I just have so many questions and none of them will ever be answered.
I think,
and I don't even want the answers.
I don't think any of us need the answer. Yeah. I don't think he knows the answer, to be honest. All right. The next one's just even worse.
All right. Bring on my commentary.
They found 9 vulvas in a shoebox. And 2 of them were from 15-year-old girls. Oh. I know.
Oh, no. No comment.
Move on. They found skulls on his bedposts. They found several organs in the refrigerator. They found this one's weird, a pair of human lips on like a drawstring of a window shade. So it was like,
why do you need that?
That's what I'm saying. It's so fucking weird. Like it was like blinds, but then on the string there was like, he had sewn a pair of like human lips onto it. How creepy is that?
I'm trying to think of if he thinks he's being... You know how people like think they're artsy and sometimes they just like they're not hitting their stride?
They're like, I'm eccentric. You wouldn't get it.
I'm trying to think like what... Like if... Was he going for art? Like...
I don't think... I mean...
Look, I'm trying to make sense of it.
I don't think it's possible.
The only thing I can think of is like if it's the string of a drawer, like of the window, that kind of looks like a tooth at the bottom, and then the string looks like floss. So it looks like a mouth.
I mean...
I don't fucking know. I don't know. And it's all fucked up and I shouldn't even be making comments.
Like an apron looks like it has nipples and a mouth.
Yeah, you're right. I don't even know what I'm doing. And for some reason, this guy's like the most fascinating to me, but that's why. It's because there's so... Oh. You don't even know what question you want to ask first.
Totally. It doesn't make... Because it's so outrageous. Yeah.
And let's not forget horrible. Before we come off as too insensitive.
Obviously. They found a lampshade made from the skin of a human face.
Oh my.
Oh no. And then famously,
The nipple belt.
A nipple belt. A belt made from human female nipples.
Which is easy to find on Google Images, by the way, for the sick and twisted.
BTW, a lot of these are on the internet.
A lot of them are. But the nipple belt is, like, in documentaries about him, they will show pictures of the nipple belt.
It's
like
very
that's like
common.
That's like the thing that he's known for.
I will also say that maybe if you want to research this, don't do it when you're working at your job for 3 weeks and you work at Nickelodeon and
A kid's show.
you use their work internet and you're like, let me research this guy. And then you're like, wait, is that what I think it is? Oh, okay.
That's like the worst place, except like a church.
No, I think Nickelodeon's worse because I could get fired from there.
Oh, okay.
At least I can ask God for forgiveness.
Okay, that's fair.
So, Gein was questioned by police. Duh. And he told investigators that between 1947 and 1952, he made about 40 nighttime visits to local graveyards to dig up freshly buried bodies.
Oh my God.
He said this happened while he was in a daze-like state, and sometimes during his visits, he would wake up from his daze, realize, like, see where he was, leave the grave intact, and go home empty-handed.
Oh, so like this only happened when he had some sort of dissociative experience.
Like a sleepwalking or a day, some
what
sort
a sleepwalk. Jesus Christ.
Stop taking Ambien, Ed Gein. How many times do we have to tell you? Sometimes he dug up the graves of recently buried middle-aged women that he thought looked like his mother. Mm-hmm. And then he would take their bodies home and tan their skins so that he could use them for his, like, projects.
Gross.
They weren't sure at first if they believed that Ed Gein could actually single-handedly, like, dig up a grave in a night and rebury it. So they had to exhume 2 coffins to be sure, and they found both of them empty. So he was telling the truth. Ed explained, this was his explanation for what happened. He said after his mother died, he decided he wanted a sex change, and he thought the best way to go about this was to create a woman's suit out of skin. So he could crawl into his mother's skin and become her whenever he wanted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, just let that soak in. He denied having sex with the bodies, but only because they smelled too bad.
Wow.
A 16-year-old boy whose family was friends with Gein and who had gone to baseball games and movies with him, reported that Gein had showed him shrunken heads that he had said were relics from the Philippines sent to him by a cousin who had served in World War II. So police were like, let's check that out.
Yeah.
They found out that the shrunken heads were actually human facial skin that had been peeled from cadavers and that Gein would use as masks.
Oh my God.
He was found guilty of first-degree murder, but because he was found to be legally insane, he spent the rest of his life in a mental hospital. A few months later, while Gein was in jail, his house burned to the ground, and police suspected arson. But when they told Gein, he just shrugged and said, just as well. So who knows what the hell happened there. In 1958, Gein's car, which had been used to transport the bodies of his victims, was sold in a public auction for $760, which nowadays is $5,718, to a carnival sideshow operator named Bunny Gibbons.
I know Bunny from my circus days.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was like Patio Furniture and Bunny Gibbons,
Yeah, we all hung out together.
the show. Well, you guys had...
Never mind.
You guys had quite a business acumen because you started charging carnival goers 25 cents to see the car.
I mean, I did what I could. It was a hard time. It was the beginning of a recession that would happen several decades later.
Yeah, and I mean...
I was just preparing for the worst.
Your friend was named Bunny, so, like, what else could you do?
Not much.
You were, like, kind of in a really low spot of your life.
I haven't gotten out of it.
You're still there.
Still there.
You and Bunny are still down there. It's fine. Gein died of cancer on July 26, 1984. He was pretty quiet in prison. Like, you know, there wasn't much news that happened while he was there.
He never gave an explanation?
Yeah, he said he wanted to crawl inside his mother's skin.
I know, but, like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for. I know.
Insane. Like, he was found legally insane.
Okay.
There's not sense to this.
I know.
So obviously, as we said, as far as pop culture goes, his story was adapted numerous times. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Silence of the Lambs, Psycho, etc. There was also, this is literally my last bullet point. There was a musical called Ed Gein the Musical that premiered in 2010 in Menasha, Wisconsin.
Why the hell was I not in Menasha, Wisconsin?
Ed Gein the
in
Musical.
2010.
Can we like reboot that?
Yeah, where is that?
Go to our Patreon page so we could reboot that.
That's something else.
Who lives there? Let me see it.
Just show me one picture from it.
I want to be in it. No, I don't.
Oh, no, wait. Never mind.
Wait, I want to be Bunny.
I'll reprise my role.
Wait, I want to be Bertha and
In the plastics.
Yeah.
All of them all at one time.
I want to be Peter and just be like, "Hey, I'm Peter." I don't know.
And then walk away and never get killed. Oh, except you do because you're Peter.
I don't know what's happening or where we are, but I just have a really funny joke.
I feel like that's me at every party.
What I just feel like
I don't know what we're doing. I don't know why we're here, but I have a funny joke.
is pretty accurate.
That's what you guys can expect if you ever meet us.
Now, don't you want to meet us?
How lucky you will be.
Well, good for you because we will be at the premiere of Ed Gein the Musical
The second premiere.
really soon.
One day.
We'll be there.
And that's why you drink.
Listen, you're right.
All right, guys, we're probably going to have a spin-off show. It's going to be called Listen.
Listen, the musical.
The musical. Listen! All right, guys.
Give them the spiel.
I'm going to give you the spiel. Thank you guys for listening to us. On And That's Why We Drink. Episode a bajillion, it seems. If you would like to follow us and for some reason don't yet,
What's wrong with you?
That's the first question. The second thing that you should do after hating yourself,
After questioning yourself,
you should go to the internet.
it's on the cloud.
It's on the cloud. And you can find us at Twitter or Instagram or Facebook at ATWWD Podcast. You can find our website, and that's why we drink.com. You can find our store, and that's why we drink.bigcartel.com. You can find our Patreon at ATWWD Podcast. You can find us, I mean, you're already listening to us, but if your friends ask, we're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher, we're on Spotify, iHeartRadio,
The cloud.
the cloud.
I can't stop saying it.
And we also have an email, and that's why we drink at gmail.com, where you can submit your own personal true crime and or paranormal stories, because we do listeners episodes on the 1st of every month.
That's right. And there was something I was going to say and I forgot, so it doesn't matter.
It sounds about accurate.
Okay, guys, thanks for listening. We love you.
And that's why we drink.
And that's why I drink. Do you want me to hit the thing on my face again?
Yeah.
Ow.
Wait, here.
That hurt.
I'll try this one.
Oh,
Bingo.
bingo bango is what I have to say to
Bada
that.
bing, bada boom.